welcome to our language lesson where we'll be distinguishing adjectives from adverbs and do some practicing with adverbs. You will need to open your book to page 190 and 191 for today's lesson. So let's first talk about an adjective. An adjective should always make sense when put right in front of the noun it describes. So let's look at our sentence. Bitterly cold weather caused the game to be postponed. Well, in this case, we're looking for an adjective. We're going to look at the word weather because that's our noun. And we have to decide, is it bitterly weather or is it cold weather? Well, in this case, cold is describing weather. So you see it's put right in front of the noun it describes. And it is considered our adjective. Now we need to find the adverb. Now, if you remember correctly, an adverb will answer one of the adverb questions about the word it describes. Okay, and what are the questions? There they are. Where, when, how often, to what extent. So now we have to look at that sentence again at the top. Bitterly cold weather caused the game to be postponed. Well, if cold is the adjective, there looks like there's something describing cold. In this case, there's an ly at the end of the word, so we could think it might be an adverb, but we should ask our question. What is it describing? Is it describing cold or is it describing weather? Well, in this case, look at one of the questions, adverb questions. How cold was it? Well, it was bitterly cold. So bitterly would be our adverb. Remember, boys and girls, you need to read the whole sentence. Let it make sense. Read the adverbs and adjectives with the noun, and that's going to help you decide which one it is. Is it bitterly weather or is it cold weather? And then you decide. Okay? One more little note for you to remember is not and N' are always describing the verb. For example, I have not read this book before. The verb is have read. Now, what have you not done? Okay, I have not read the book. So they would modify have and read, and you'll need to put arrows on both of those. Jacob wasn't at school. It's kind of like saying was not. So you see the N' modifies was. Not is the adverb, and it modifies was. All right, so now let's head over to your book, page 190. And we're going to do the think section. And the directions say, write adverb if it, in the blank. If the underlined word is an adverb, or write adjective, it's an adjective. So let's look at our first sentence. Number 1, you did a very nice job. Well, very nice, very is underlined. So now we have to decide, is it an adverb or is it an adjective? Well, we need to ask the questions again. What is very describing? Is it describing nice? Is it very nice? Or is it describing job? Very job. Well, in this case, it's describing nice. So that would make it a adverb. Very good. Okay, because we're not describing the job. If it is a job, then it would be an adjective. We are describing how nice it was. Okay, let's look at number 2. Don't get used to some kind of pattern here. Just because you see 2 words doesn't always mean what you think it is. You have to read the sentence carefully. Number 2, she bought a pretty new dress. Pretty is underlined, so would that be an adjective or would that be an adverb? Well, remember, let's read these words with the noun and see what makes sense. She bought, so is it a pretty dress? New dress. Pretty dress, new dress. To me, that sounds like it's describing the dress. It's a pretty dress, and it's a new dress. So it looks like there's two adjectives there. So number 2 is adjective. Read the sentence carefully, boys and girls. Let's move over to page 191 now, and we're going to do the think section. And it says, underline each adverb. In the blank, write the word that the adverb describes. Remember to watch for adverbs in the middle of a verb phrase. Number 1, the kite flew alone. Well, remember when we're trying to find an adverb, we need to do what? We have to find the verb. Well, the verb in this case is flew. So, how did the kite fly? It flew alone. So I underline alone. And so what is the verb again? Flew. Okay, the kite flew all by itself. It was alone. So the verb is flew, and you underline the word alone is the adverb that's describing the verb. Number 2, Daniel did not forget his promise. Oh, if we remember our hint from the other page, not is always an adverb. So we're going to underline not. Now, what is not describing what verb? Do you know? Did forget. Okay? Did forget. Okay? That is your verb. Now, let's look at our very last section. I'm only going to do one in this section for you because we've done this before. Directions say underline each adverb and draw an arrow to the word the adverb describes. So underline the adverb. The mule stubbornly stopped in the road. The adverb, first to find the adverb, we have to look at the verb. What's the verb? Stopped. Well, now we ask the questions. One of those questions, how did he stop? Well, he stopped stubbornly. So, stubbornly is our adverb, and it is modifying or describing the word stopped. And that is how you do this lesson, boys and girls. If you have any questions, please make sure and see me at Zoom in the afternoon. I hope to hear from you if you need help, and have a great Monday.